Hi everyone, Martin here. Welcome back to Accidentally Detailed. Today I want to talk about the cost of starting plastic modeling and what I think is actually worth buying when you are just beginning. Not the cheapest possible way, the right way in my opinion. The sooner you start correctly, the faster you will see real results. And you will save yourself a lot of frustration wondering why your models don't look like what you see online. But please keep in mind, everything I share today is just my personal opinion and experience. Let me start with the most important tool in this hobby, the airbrush. Most beginner guides will tell you to start with brushes. In my opinion, this advice is outdated. A cheap Chinese airbrush today costs roughly the same as 3 packs of cigarettes. Brush painting alone gives uneven coverage, visible strokes, and poor results on larger surfaces. An airbrush gives you smooth base coats, realistic color fading, and camouflage patterns that are simply impossible with a brush. So I recommend starting with an airbrush from the beginning. There are 2 routes depending on your budget. The budget route: a Chinese airbrush like a Fengda BD180, price approximately €40. I used one for few years and it works. I don't have it anymore, but I can tell you honestly what it does. It is good enough for base coating, camouflage, and color fading. Basically everything you will need for 1/35 scale. The needle needs regular cleaning and it is not as precise as premium airbrushes, but for beginner it does the job. The serious route: the Tamiya HG airbrush, price around €110 to €130. Make sure you are looking for the Tamiya HG series, not the Sparmex version which looks similar but is different airbrush. This is what I use for all my painting, camouflage, color modulation. You will see it commonly in my videos. I immediately fell in love with this airbrush, because she accepts that I am total noob at airbrushing. One thing I really appreciate about the Tamiya is how easy she is to clean. You simply press your finger against the nozzle, pull the trigger, and air bubbles back through the cup, clearing paint residue instantly. I also owned the H&S Infinity many years, which cost significantly more than the Tamiya. I use it mainly for primers and varnishes. I know many people love this airbrush and it is certainly a high quality tool, but I am too much a noob to use her properly. In my personal experience, the Tamiya performs better and is much more forgiving for beginners. With Infinity, I needed deep cleaning multiple times during a single camouflage session. With the Tamiya, almost never. There is rumor that Tamiya HG airbrushes are manufactured in the same factory as Iwata, at a fraction the price. I cannot confirm this, but the quality speaks for itself. So my recommendation is simple. If your budget is tight, buy the Fengda BD180. If you are committed to this hobby from day one and don't want to upgrade later, buy the Tamiya HG. You will not regret either decision. To use an airbrush, we need a source of air. There are some cheap looking alternatives that will fool you, like air cans. You will empty them very quickly, and after buying several, you will have spent enough money to buy a compressor anyway. But a compressor gives you unlimited air for years. So let me talk about what a good compressor should have. A tank. It stores air and ensures consistent pressure without pulsing or drops while you spray. A water trap. It separates moisture from the air so water droplets don't ruin your paint job. Auto shut-off. The compressor rests when the tank is full and restarts automatically when pressure drops. A good cooling system, so it doesn't overheat during longer painting session, and quite enough to use at home without disturbing everyone around you. I used to have a large compressor with a big 8-liter tank. It was powerful and worked well, but when I turned it on, it sounded like a B-17 Flying Fortress at takeoff. You can imagine, the neighbors were not very happy. So I switched to this one. This is the Airbrush HG326, the compressor I use. It costs around €120, and it is honestly the best money I have spent on this hobby. I would not recommend going cheaper than this for a decent compressor in the current market. This is the one non-negotiable purchase in this setup. Badge it here first and save money elsewhere if needed. A compressor you buy corrected the first time will last you many years. And one thing I want to mention, please do not airbrush without protection. I use a 3M health mask with A2 filters. Airbrush particles are extremely fine and harmful when inhaled regularly. It is not worth the risk. Before we talk about paints, let me mention something that many beginners skip completely. It is a primer. And skipping primer is a mistake you will regret immediately. Let me show you what I mean. You can see the difference clearly. Paint without primer chips very easily and doesn't adhere properly to the surface. With primer, the same force causes only minimal damage, if any at all. When you handle a finished model normally, you will almost never damage a primed surface. Many people think primer means expensive spray cans. It does not. This is VMS primer, and it is actually cheaper than spray cans. No thinning needed. It is self-leveling, so even if you apply a slightly thicker layer, it will not hide small details. You apply it with your airbrush, it dries fast, and you are ready to paint within 2 hours. Another good option is Guns Mr. Surface, also excellent quality. However, this primer needs to be thinned before airbrushing. I use Guns leveling thinner for this. It gives smooth results, but it is one extra step compared to VMS. Buy primer before anything else. Never skip primer. Now let me talk about paints. My first recommendation is simple. Stick to one paint system and don't mix random brands randomly. For airbrushing, I use and recommend Tamiya acrylics. They need to be thinned. I use Tamiya lacquer thinner or Mr. Leveling thinner, not water. Tamiya paints are durable, consistent, and have wide color ranges for military subjects. They mix easily, and their behavior is very predictable. And honestly, I still like Tamiya paints the most for airbrushing. Maybe because I am a noob, and they are extremely noob resistant. Very forgiving for beginners. For brush painting, I use Vallejo acrylics. They are water-based and easy to clean up. They also have excellent flow for detail work, and they work perfectly without buying any thinner. Just use water to thin them if needed. Now about varnishes, and this is important. I like Tamiya varnishes. They use the same thinner as for Tamiya paints, leveling thinner or Tamiya lacquer thinner. I also like VMS varnishes. They do not need any thinning at all. Just like the VMS primer, ready to use straight from the bottle. One more important recommendation. Don't buy 30 paints immediately. Start with 5 or 6 colors relevant to your first kit. Add paints gradually as your projects require them. One more tip for your very first model. Choose a subject with a single color camouflage. Soviet tanks in green on American and British vehicles in olive drab are perfect examples. Single color schemes are much easier to paint, and they will save you money for other needed things. Multicolor camouflage like German three-tone can wait until you are more comfortable with your airbrush. Your total paint budget to start should be somewhere around €30. Even with an airbrush, you will still need a brush for detail work, weathering and glazes. And this is honestly one of the biggest places where you can save money. Expensive brushes are not necessary. Let me tell you a personal story. About 15 years ago, I bought several Winsor Newton Series 7 brushes, around €20 each. They are still hidden in the drawer. Never used them. I was too scared to damage them. Meanwhile, I painted my entire Chernobyl diorama with a €7 Chinese brush set, including fine chips on concrete, with a brush that cost me around 70 cents. Now there is a difference between cheap Chinese brushes and truly bad brushes that lose their shape immediately after first use. Cheap doesn't always mean bad. A good cheap brush holds its point and keeps its shape during painting. A truly bad brush falls apart in your hand after one painting session. For dry brushing, I use a simple cheap flat school brush. It works perfectly for this technique and there is no reason to spend more. My recommendation is simple. Buy one cheap Chinese brush set, around €5 to €7 for 7 to 10 pieces. Add 1 or 2 mid-range detail brushes later, when you know which sizes you actually use most. You will be surprised how far a cheap brush can take you. Now let me talk about glue, and this is simpler than most people think. For plastic to plastic there is really only one correct answer: liquid cement. I use Mr. Hobby Cement SP, Tamiya HG or MO HG. All of them work by capillary action. You touch the brush to the seam and the glue flows in by itself. They all come with the brush built into the cap. This is exactly how they are meant to be applied. No need to apply glue directly to the parts. Touch the seam and let the glue do the work. Now what about thick plastic cement? I almost never use it. Only occasionally when I glue some tiny parts I can't handle. For everything else, liquid cement only. And then there is CA glue, the super glue. This is for non-plastic parts only. Resin, photo etch, metal, rubber. I personally use VMS Black CA glue with their debonder. Excellent quality. But for a beginner who is not yet working with photo etch or resin parts regularly, a basic gel super glue from any supermarket works perfectly fine. Make sure it is gel type. It gives you a few seconds to adjust the position of parts before it sets. Don't spend money on premium CA glue until you are regularly working with photo etch. Honestly, one bottle of Mr. Cement SP and €2 super glue is basically your entire glue budget for the first year. Now let me talk about weathering products. And my first recommendation here is: do not buy any weathering products before you finish your first clean build. Master basic painting first, then add weathering. When you are ready, there are two roads. The budget road, around 15 to €20 total. One pre-made wash, approximately €4. 1 or 2 enamel effects, around €4 to €5 each. Simple, beginner friendly and hard to make serious mistakes with. This is enough to create a good weathering finish on your first attempt. Important note: enamel products need white spirit or enamel thinner to work with and to clean up afterwards. The flexible road, oil paints. A set of oil paints replaces most enamel effects and is much more versatile. Just like enamel products, they are also thinned and cleaned up with white spirit. They last incredibly long. I have personal story about this. Most of my oil paints I bought around 15 years ago. They are still perfectly fine and I use them also today. If you already have oil paints at home, you are basically covered for most weathering techniques which do not need texture like matte. My recommendation is simple. Start with one wash and 2 enamel effects. Add oil paints later when you understand what you are doing and what effects you want to achieve. I left tools for last because this is honestly where you have the biggest variation in what you can buy and use. Let me go through the essentials. Sprue cutters. You need one for like €3. not the cheapest ones that crash and damage plastic instead cutting it cleanly. A hobby knife with replaceable blades. Always replace blades regularly. A dull blade crashes plastic instead cutting it. And always use a cutting mat under your work. It protects your desk and lasts basically forever. Sanding sticks and sanding paper in various grades. Cheap everywhere and absolutely essential. Small files for cleanup and feed issues. Basic putty like Tamiya basic putty for filling small gaps. Tweezers, needles, pipettes, masking tape and copper wire. All useful and all very affordable. Now I want to mention two tools separately. These are not needed at the start, but I can honestly recommend them when you are ready to upgrade. First, the Tamiya side cutters. These are the best cutters I ever used for cutting plastic parts cleanly. Second, the Tamiya diamond file. It is absolutely the best tool for clean up photo etch frame leftovers on parts. When you reach that stage, these are worth every cent. So let me summarize what we covered today and what it actually cost. For the airbrush, €40 for the Becit Fengda Road or €120 for the Tamiya HG. The compressor, €120. This is not negotiable regardless which road you choose. Gas mask with filters, €40. Primer, around €12. Tamiya acrylics plus varnishes plus thinner, €30. Few Vallejo paints, around €15. Brushes, around €7 for a decent cheap set. Glues, €6 for Mr. Cement SP and €2 super glue from the supermarket. Basic tools, around €25. And weathering starter products, around €15. When you are ready, not included in the total below. So the honest total? The Becit Road with Fengda airbrush, approximately €300. The serious road with Tamiya airbrush, approximately €380. This is not cheap hobby to start correctly, but the setup will last you many years and give you results that will satisfy more than disappoint from the very beginning. The biggest mistake you can make in my opinion is buying a cheap compressor or skipping the airbrush entirely. Everything else you can start Becit and upgrade gradually. I hope this video helps someone who is considering entering this hobby. These are just my personal opinions. Your experience might be different. Thank you for watching and I wish you all the best.